Hello, welcome to another episode of Wealth Creation Thursday with me, your host Wangare. Here we have conversations on wealth creation and financial freedom. And today our conversation is sponsored by Making Sense, which is a book on personal stories of people and their money journey that has been authored by Waceke Nduati, who's also the founder of Centronomy. Today, we are going to have a continuation of the conversation that we left off in the last week's episode, where we were talking about unconventional truths about money that you should know about. We did part 1 of the episode, and this is the second part. So before you watch this part, ensure that you've watched the previous part. So what are other unconventional truths about money that you should know about? The first unconventional truth about money is that you cannot save your way to financial freedom. If I don't know whether you know this, but if at all you're looking to save up 1 billion shillings, if you saved 1 million shillings, 1 million shillings, 1 million shillings a month, it will take you 84 years for you to be able to save 1 billion shillings. And what this tells you is that you cannot save your way to wealth creation. You need to be able to enjoy the power of compounding interest, and that is investing. So the question is, in what ways will you be investing your money in the year 2025? So there are very many investment products that you can get onto. You can get into bonds, you can get into money market funds, you can get into treasury bills, you can get into shares, you can get into pension funds. So there are very many investment instruments that you can be able to onboard in your year of 2025. So I'm very keen to learn what are some of the investments that you'll be taking up in the year 2025. The second thing is that you cannot solely depend on cutting your expenses to gain financial freedom. One, if you've listened to the other YouTube videos that I've done, you'll realize that you can either have these two problems, or you can have a combination of both. You can either have an income generation problem, you can have a spending problem, or you can have a combination of both. So my question for you is, what is your challenge that you're currently facing? And if you're facing a challenge of income generation, it means that what you need to do to be able to create wealth is to actually get multiple streams of income, because there's only so much you can cut. There's only so much you can cut on rent. There's only so much, or a smaller apartment that you can live in that makes sense. There's only so much you can cut down on food, because now it will get to a point of you're now going into a hunger strike. So the question is, what are you doing in order for you to create wealth? And what are some of the ways that you are actually creating multiple streams of income to enable you to create wealth and find financial freedom? So that is the second unconventional truth. So we've talked about you cannot save your way to financial freedom, and also you can only cut so much expenses to financial freedom. It gets to a point where you actually need to create multiple sources of income. And we're going to have a whole YouTube video on multiple sources of income, where we are going to talk about active income, where we're going to talk about portfolio income, where we're going to talk about passive income. So active, passive, and portfolio income. The third unconventional truth about money is financial awareness is the first step to financial freedom. They say that self-awareness is the greatest agent to change. And if at all you're not aware, you do not have a sense of what's going on, then it will be very difficult for you to figure out what are my next steps. You are unable to figure out what are some of the things that I'm doing wrong right now that actually need to be course corrected. So you need a lot of awareness. You need to exercise financial awareness. That's why you need things like tracking your expenses. That's why you need a good budget. That's why you need to be aware of where your investments are and what consists of your investment portfolio. And it's through that data that will enable you to pivot accordingly and will enable you to create wealth and live abundantly. The fourth unconventional truth about money is that debt can be a strategic tool for wealth. For me, growing up, I was always very skeptical of debt, and I had categorized that debt is something that is bad. But it is later through financial literacy that I came to realize that actually debt is neutral. Debt can be either good or bad dependent on how you use it. So if at all you use debt for consumerism purposes, then what that means is that you're taking up money, and that money will never put money back into your pocket. So if at all you're taking money to buy clothes, you're taking money to pay rent, you're taking debt to furnish your home, then it means that that is bad debt. But good debt is debt that you are able to take up to expand your business, which will finally put more money back into your pocket, or you're taking up debt in order for you to take up investment opportunities. So debt can be a strategic tool for wealth creation. So if at all you have maybe money traumas, and I'm going to do a whole other YouTube videos about money traumas, so know that debt can be used as a strategic tool for wealth creation. There are people who have benefited from and have actually created wealth because they've been able to leverage other people's money to be able to create wealth. So that's the fourth point. The fifth point is you don't have to be an expert to invest, and you don't have to, if at all you're an beginner investor, you don't need to get into like complex investments, for you to begin your complex journey. You could, even by the time I was starting my investments journey, I began one by putting money aside on my money market fund, because a money market fund is a investment vehicle. So that is what I used as a beginner when it comes to my investment journey. And I also didn't wait for me to have millions and billions of shillings for me to invest. I began by saving 1,000 shillings. So do not wait. You don't have to be an expert to invest. Invest now, invest what you have, and then you'll be able to add onto your portfolio as days goes by, and also as your income continues to grow. So that's something that you need to know. And then the sixth unconventional about money matters, or the sixth unconventional truth about money, is that generosity positively affects your financial wellness. I'm gonna repeat that again. Generosity positively affects your financial wellness. And Waceke on page 90 talks about this, and she says, as human beings, we can easily become too consumed with ourselves, with what we have and what we want. But the call and the promise of faith is that we belong to something bigger than ourselves. We are called to use our money, our time, and our skills to create a world that reflects the abundance that our Creator intends for us all. Giving cultivates a lifestyle of gratitude by acknowledging the source of all good things, and gratitude leads to joy and freedom of trusting that God holds all things. So I'm personally a beneficiary of people's generosity. I remember by the time I was joining the university, after clearing high school, I had an A-, and I was really looking forward to joining uni. And my parents weren't able to take me through uni. And there was a harambe that was done actually to get me into university. So it means that it's through people's charitable giving, it's through people's generosity that actually has made the woman that you see here today. So it means that because someone decided to give, because someone somewhere decided to sacrifice what they have for a bigger cause, that has made my life better. And because of them, I'm actually grateful, because I'm able to stand here today and I'm able to have this conversation about money. So if at all you feel compelled, to be able to pay it forward, then please do so, because it helps and you make the world better than you leave it. So generosity positively affects your financial wellness. And also, to whom much is given, much is expected. And the more that you're able to handle your finances, the more, and there's this concept of, if at all you're holding on to something or you're grabbing something with a tight fist, it means that you're also not giving yourself an opportunity to get more into your hand because you're already holding a tight fist. So money is energy. Let money flow in and out. Let money flow in and out. So that is the 6th unconventional truth about money. And the 7th unconventional truth about money is financial independence is about choice. Financial independence isn't necessarily about just retiring. It's about you being able to choose, where you want to live in, where you don't. It's about choosing situations in which you are tolerating and situations that you actually really need to live. Financial freedom is about even choosing where to work and where not to work. If at all maybe you've been putting your finances in order, you can be able even to take a sabbatical from work. Maybe you've been working, toiling and moiling for the last 10 years and you're like, maybe I need like a 1-year break before maybe getting back into the groove of things. So actually financial independence is about giving yourself choices. So I hope that you've learned a lot from this part 2 of Unconventional Truths About Money. We had done our part 1. So I hope that you've watched that before watching this. So as you know, our book, Making Sense, that has been authored by Waceke and Nduati, is available for sale. It's 1,000 shillings. So you can purchase the book by calling the number that is down below here, or alternatively, you can buy the book from our bookshop partners. You can get the book from Textbook Center, from Nuria Bookshop, from Half Priced Bookshop. You can get it from Prestige, Somanami, Kibanga Books, Bookstop, Sparkle Bookshop, and the book is available at Aristoco Booklex Uganda and on Amazon as a Kindle version or a paperback version. And if at all you've enjoyed this video so far, so consider subscribing, consider liking and sharing this video. And I'm also very curious to know what are some unconventional truths about money that you'd like us to know. So kindly put them at the comments. Thank you for being here. Till next time, kwaherini.